Lai 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 Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining us and our entire community virtually this evening. Please join in turning to page 126 in our Siddur. If you don't have a physical copy, please find a virtual PDF version on our website's virtual tab. Using a split screen or additional device, you are invited to follow along. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. Hashchina needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love the Source is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love the Source is to love the world the Source created and to work to perfect it. To love the Source is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and bring that vision to life. Page 129, please join me towards the bottom. When I keep Shabbat, the Source watches over me. It is a sign forever between the Source and I. We notice that in keeping Shabbat, Shabbat keeps us. Ki eshmera Shabbat. Yeshmera Shabbat El Yishmereini Ki Yeshmera Shabbat El Yishmereini Oti Leomei Ad Beino Uveini Oti Leomei Ad Beino Yeshmera Shabbat El Yishmereini to lift our hearts and voices in song, please join me on page 138 as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Shamor v'zakur b'dibur echad Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shim tiferet v'letila Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Likrat Shabbat bechu v'necha ki mekor ha'baracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'mashvat achila. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, hiva ore uni ori, uri uri shidaberi. Kavod Adonai hayelach nigla. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Bori shalom materet vala ga b'simcha u'b'sohola toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, boi kala. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. B'nei Shabbat lekabela. Please join me on page 143. And Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. Coming upon a certain place, he passed the night there, for the sun was setting. Taking one of the stones out of the place, He made it his headrest as he lay down in that place. He dreamed, and lo, a ladder was set on the ground, with its top reaching to heaven. And lo, angels of the source going up and coming down on it. And lo, Adonai stood up and said, I, Adonai, am the source of creation of your father Abraham, and source of creation of Isaac. The land on which you are lying I will give to you and to your descendants. And your descendants shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread out to the west and the east, and to the north and the south. Through you and your descendants all the families of the earth shall find blessing, and here I am with you. I will watch over you wherever you go. I will bring you back to this soil. I will not let go of you as long I have yet to do what I have promised you. Waking from his sleep, Jacob said, Truly, Adonai is in this place, and I did not know it. He was awestruck and said, How awe-inspiring is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Genesis chapter 28, verses 10 through 17. Wow. What a stunning moment in what happens to be this week's portion. Jacob awakens to the divine, seeing the source of creation before him. In Rabbi's absence, we will depart from our regularly scheduled programming and create a space for a bit of teaching right now. Let us take a closer look at this 12th line of text in Genesis chapter 28. He dreamed, and lo, a ladder was set on the ground with its top reaching to heaven, and lo, angels of the source going up and coming down. As we don't have Rabbi here to translate for us, we look at another translation. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder was set upon the ground, and its top reached to heaven, and behold, angels of the source were ascending and descending upon it. If we take a moment and notice this description, it may conflict with some of the ways we might typically imagine or consider the entity of the angel of the source of all creation to be. To me, it would make most logical sense for the angels to be descending and then ascending. However, that's not how we find it here. As the ladder begins on the ground, the angels of Hashkinah are ascending from whence they came. We can make a strong case here that these angels, the messengers from the Most High, hold human origins. That if we are awakened as Jacob was, in the middle of the night, in the midst of his divine dream, we can find angels walking beside us here and now. Our book guides us to a few of Lawrence Kushner's thoughts on this. And so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet, if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you, too, yourself may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errand extends over several lifetimes. After reading Kushner's beautiful thoughts, I was excited to find his other writings of the like, and came across this poem written in 1977, published in Honey from the Rock, Visions of Jewish Mystical Renewal. There must have been a time when you entered a room and met someone, and after a while, you understood that unknown to either of you, there was a reason you had met. You had changed the other, and they had changed you. By some word or deed, or just by your presence, the errand had been completed. Then perhaps you were a little bewildered or humbled or grateful. And it was over. Each lifetime is the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. For some, there are more pieces. For others, the puzzle is more difficult to assemble. Some seem to be born with a nearly completed puzzle, and so it goes. Souls going this way and that, trying to assemble the myriad parts. But know this, no one has within themselves all the pieces to their puzzle. Like before the days when they used to seal jigsaw puzzles in cellophane, ensuring that all the pieces were there. Everyone carries with them at least one, and probably many pieces to someone else's puzzle. Sometimes they know it. Sometimes they don't. And when you present your piece, which is worthless to you, to another, whether you know it or not, whether they know it or not, you are a messenger from the Most High. I love how simply Kushner describes this interaction with the divine, that through our relationships with one another, we could awaken to the capacity for intimate holiness, while simply being ourselves and having the courage and continual commitments to share our puzzle piece. That these interactions and moments can unfold with any combination of all or even no parties being aware that it has. Just as Jacob awakens to the reality that the divine is in that place, even though when he lied down, he did not know it. Page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharit, Malachi, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Peace be to you, O ministering angels, messengers of the Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. Boachem l'shalom, enter in peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High. Barchuni l'shalom, bless me with peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High. Depart in peace. Tzeitchem l'shalom, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. The text of this prayer and tradition dates back to the 17th century. In the Talmud it is taught, one who recites Vayachulu, the heaven and the earth, as we will this evening before our Kiddush, two ministering angels accompany a person on Shabbat evening from the synagogue to their home. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am. Vayechulu, the heaven and the earth. Chanting this prayer acts as our ladder, from earth to heaven. Let us take pause on this Shabbat after Thanksgiving to reflect on and recognize all the possibilities for which we can be angels for one another, as well as those who are angels for us. From handling our closest relationships with care, to the ways we show up for one another in our community and workplace, all the way to doing your part to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Jacob's encounters that evening, as well as Kushner's teachings, remind us sometimes it is in those unknown relationships we share with the other that can be a ladder to the Most High. These encounters help us to better understand ourselves and ultimately cultivate a more intimate relationship with the divine. As we prepare to greet this evening's angels with peace and gratitude, we continue our tradition of honoring those who not only act as angels in their personal lives, but who also act as essential workers amidst this pandemic, risking their safety to serve our communities. These nurses, Marie Delaparte, Krista Dubois, Teresa Eggers, Lindsay Miller, Jay Mountier, Cindy Pomerantz, Helen Powers, Joni Savago, Lucinda Siegel, Christina Snell, Ashley Wallace, Ben Wilder, Elisa Williams, these doctors, Linda Brandon, Amy Cagula, Joe Cohen, Shani David, Elliot Dresnick, Lee Gerson Friedman, Nicholas Friedman, Stephen Grossman, Ilan Haley, Jan Hoyt, Steve Kaplan, Howard Leifer, Liz Levine, Aaron Daniel Levitt, L. Levitt, Noah Alexander Levitt, Richard Levy, Matthew Lorty, Hannah Mittenberg, Wendy Parrish, Stephen Schwartz, Andrew Yanowski, Martin Krakauer, Jonathan Sumber. These healthcare workers, Yisrael Aga, Dara Clausen, Bar Levi Romer, Catherine Monsky, Joseph Schwendeman, Amy Skorka, Maureen Terranova, Jaron Widom. Our first responders, Ryan Coletti, Mark Donchek, Steve Fleischer, Dawn Hughes, Karen Leader, Abe Markowitz, Anthony Schleuderer, Russell Seymour, Kahana Skolnick. These education professionals, Sandy Albelli, Cindy Binney, Kara Levine Brenner, Carolyn Satinsky, Lauren DePola, Molly Levine Hunt, Jim Hunt, Tammy Logan, Joanne Miller, Tracy Pollock, Cameron Robb, Lauren Rose, Aaron Swan, Sue Worthman, Karen Zreich, Brett Zuckerman. These social workers and mental health professionals, Andrew Binney, Charlie DeGeorge, Anastasia Duvalionetti, Janalee Fish, Dara Heinlein, Deb Jones, Stephen Kahn, Lauren Petties, Julie Stein-Mikowski, Sherry Tessler. These grocery staff, Jill Smith, Mike Becker, Matthew Wilder. These technicians, mechanics, and maintenance personnel, Mike Brewer, Brian Lestrange, and our transportation professionals, Danny Miller. Please join me as we pray Shalom Aleichem on page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi HaSharet, Malachi, Malachi Elyon, Mimel
HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi, Malachi Elyon, Mimelach, Mori HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Barachem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Mori HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Mori HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu.
Continuing on to the bottom of page 145, once again, Lawrence Kushner teaches, entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. Turning to page 146 and facing Jerusalem, we call one another to formal worship. Lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai, lai, hamevorach, lai, 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 Baruch Adonai, hamevorach leolam vaed, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my sister, my brother, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv aravim.
The Shema is flanked by two prayers of ahava, prayers of love. First, for the love that we receive. Page 150, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha avta, Amcha avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Akein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu, uvkumenu nasiach b'hukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki heim chayenu, v'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, le'ahavat chal tasir, imenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem kivod malchuto le'olam va'ed. 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 Lai lai lai, lai lai lai, lai lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai.
Page 155. When people come to you for help, do not turn them off with pious words saying, "Have faith and take your troubles to Hashchina." Act instead as if there were no Hashchina, no source of all creation, as though there were only one person in all the world who could help, only yourself. The next prayer of love is the V'ahavta, celebrating the love we share. Page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol mehodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavcha hayom halevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dbarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein heinecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us courage to say, Adonai, there is one source in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 156. Mi chamocha.
Yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osefele nora tehilot osefele malechutecha ra'uvanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe Miriam ze'elianu ve'amru ze'elianu ve'amru
Moving to the top of page 160, we ask that the source grant us peace.
Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu לשמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. לי 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 לי
In an envelope marked personal, Hashchina addressed me a letter. In an envelope marked personal, I gave my answer. Please join me on page 164 as we face Jerusalem in preparation to pray the Amidah. The Amidah will follow in whispered prayer through page 180.
יחיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון לבי לפניך אדוני צורי Adonai Tzuri v'gali Adonai Tzuri v'gali.
Page 178.
Ose shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom hu yaseh shalom aleinu yaseh shalom aleinu ose shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom hu yaseh shalom aleinu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol
We now have the opportunity to open our hearts to those in need of healing in our community. On this Shabbat, we extend our prayers of healing to Abel ben Rachel v'David, Orly bat Siva v'Chaya, Susan Bosch, Amanda Batista, Daniel Jules Brenner, Andrea Klein, Audrey Cohen, Barbara Cohen, Phoebe Cohen, Adele Corvin, Tyler Corvin, Louis Costello, John Gautier, Stephen Gutterman, Judy Jacobs, George Jones, Seth Kerr, Mary Jane Klein, Luke Klein, Ben Reyes, Kristen Riley, Tony Rosenstein, Robin Stone, Ellen Vogelov, George Wells, Ben Wilder. Continued healing for Todd Albailey, Tommy Anderson, John Benet, Deborah Brenner, Joe Colley, Robert Cohen, Michael Corvin, Vanessa Durant, Steve Fine, Marvin Feldman, Cheryl Fitzsimmons, Barbara Gallagher, Francine Glasser, Mark Greenberg, Marcia Hamburg, Valerie Henderson, Danny Joseph, Heather Kedar, Marty Cantor, Anita Cantor, Heather Kitay, Jill Levy-Corley, Charles Lipman, Naomi Laurie, David Mallon, Danielle Mass, Sandy Mel, Joanne Moore, Anne Murkoff, Marshall Nadan, Catherine Nicholson, Navia Nuzzi, Steve Perlmutter, Antoinette Phelan, Lillian Rich Schuster, Dave Rosenthal, Evie Rosenthal, Kyle Rothgeb, Barbara Salberg, Henry Sanderson, Claude Schleudver, Shirley Schneider, Deborah Sayers, Phil Searles, Sloan Shortley, Michelle Simon, Charles Lutsky, Elaine Trott, Mark Trott, Sandy Weiner, Karen Wilder, Mac Williams, Scott Zimbler. Please find our Remisha Berach on page 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor Habercha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of the spirit, and let us say Amen.
Continuing facing Jerusalem, please join me on page 587 as we pray the Aleinu. Aleinu lishabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula liotzer breshit, shehu sam chelkenu liached et shemo, v'gor aleinu lehamlich malchuto, ve'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 591. V'nemar v'hai Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushmo, Ushmo, Ushmo Echad. We have now come to our moment of announcements for the evening. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, please join me for our morning minyan. It will begin at 10 a.m. Next week, our ongoing virtual learning groups will meet as usual, with Tuesday morning meditation and Torah study, and afternoon beginning Hebrew classes. Then on Wednesday, Hebrew trope and conversational Hebrew, and on Thursday, with intermediate advanced Hebrew and Chai with the rabbi. Next Friday, December 4th, Tat Shabbat service begins at 5:30, followed by Kabbalat Shabbat service at 6. Then Saturday, December 5th, morning minyan at 10 is followed by our annual congregational meeting at noon. Come together with your fellow congregants, discuss and vote on items your congregation is working on now and in the years to come. CEHV's Committee for Spiritual Practices is pleased to announce a special 8 nights of Hanukkah festival celebration beginning December 10th, with in-person or virtual activities planned for every night, each event beginning at 6 p.m. For details, please see our website. If you know an essential worker to be honored by having their name read each week, please send us their name and occupation. Our new solar energy fundraiser campaign and savings program is ongoing. See our dedicated webpage for more information and a link to sign up, or contact Jessica, Rabbi Yael's assistant. For more information, see our website, cehv.org, or contact our office by phone. Our building remains closed, but we are available via phone, via email, so please reach out. Page 595. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were, in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world. And each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. Our hearts are with the families who are observing their Shana, their year of mourning for their loved ones. So too do we weave in the memory of the loved ones of our community who have died in season past. Our hearts join with yours in remembering Birdie Blankfield, Rosette Davis, remembered by Lucinda Siegel, Jacob Aronsall, Samuel Galley, remembered by Paula Galley, Gerard Harrington, remembered by Gerard Harrington, Joseph F. Katz, Sophie Katz, Eli Marney, Maurice Missner, remembered by Maureen Missner, Morris Posner, remembered by Martin Posner, Lauren Satinsky, remembered by Kitty Satinsky, Ruth C. Sultanoff, Harry Spiesman, David Weil, Hannah Wise. Please join me on page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yishtkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, be'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam ul almei almaya, Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal, shmei d'kudesha berich hu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi lama Rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru amen. Please join me on page 652. You and I will change the world, you and I, then all will join us. Though it's been said before, it doesn't matter. You and I will change the world. You and I will start from the beginning. It may be difficult, but it's nothing. It's not so terrible. Ani ve'ata.
אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה אז יבואו כבר כולם. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה נעשה מההתחלה. יהיה לנו רע, אין דבר, זה לא נורא. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. לי 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 לי
Please join me for our Kiddush. On page 122.
ויהי ערב, ויהי בוקר, יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן, אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו בשבת קודשו, באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת, אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לך מן הארץ, amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us this evening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.